recognize my face. Say you don't care who goes to that kind of place. Knee deep in the hoopla, sinking in your fight. Too many runaways eating up the night. Marconi plays the mamba. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
Welcome to the City Show here on GGR. Pat O'Melia, live as always, here to entertain you. As I say at the beginning of all the shows, tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends. Download the Live 365 app where you can enjoy all the GGR programming. And we got some new stuff coming. I got a guy coming in the studio tomorrow that's doing a radio show podcast. We got town halls set up with the Jersey City councilman. Jake Efros is going to do one. Joel Brooks is going to do one. Tom Zuper is going to do one. They'll do them monthly. And you call in, you can talk all about what all the what's going on in the wards. And so we got some stuff we're going to talk about today. Some really important stuff in Jersey City. Boulevard Drinks closing. Can't let it close permanently, but got a lot of things going on tonight. But again, download the Live 365 app. This way you can hear me. You can listen to your council people. Got Hugo Caprera from North Bergen coming in. He'll be doing a town hall. We'll be doing a lot with the North Bergen departments. We should be doing that with Jersey City also, but start small. What are we going to talk about tonight? Well, first, may the 4th be with you. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm a Star Trek guy. We're going to talk a little about Iran. That's starting to turn ugly out there. The Van Kuren transfer station. Boulevard Jinx, as I mentioned, the May Day protest. We got a big debate coming up. We got a lot more to talk about, but right now, we got a break for commercial. You're listening to The City Show here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll be right back.
Jersey City, Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers, Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra Space Storage has space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some Extra Space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra Space Storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest Extra Space Storage location, extraspace.com. Hi, I'm Pat O'Melia with the Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. You may have heard me talk about teaching high school juniors and seniors studio and radio production. The hope is when these kids graduate and wish to continue their education, they may receive college scholarships, or if not, they will have the experience from our program to get employment at the major motion movie studios here in New Jersey and New York. I started a GoFundMe where you can make a donation completely tax deductible to help these kids end the studio program. Please go to GoFundMe and type in Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network. I thank you now for your generosity. Toms River Armory, 602 Clifton Avenue, right at the intersection of Clifton Avenue and Route 37 at Toms River. Your local source for all your firearm, ammo needs, and accessories. Plus, gunsmithing, repair, and cleaning on site. And coming soon, firearm training and classes. Toms River Armory, 732-569-3730. On the net at tomsriverarmory.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Toms River Armory, 602 Clifton Avenue at the intersection of Route 37 and Clifton Avenue in Toms River. Visit on the net at tomsriverarmory.com. Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra Space Storage has space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some Extra Space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra Space Storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest Extra Space Storage location, extraspace.com.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, we're back. Pat O'Melia here on GGR with the City Show. Nice weather today. It's going to be nice tomorrow. It's going to be like 80 degrees. Been a while since we felt 80 degrees. It'll be good, but then it's going to start raining on Wednesday. I don't mind. 80 degrees. Let me feel 80-degree days. Again, may the 4th be with you. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm a Star Trek guy. But let's get to the business at hand here. Let me go through the news. Van Kuren Transfer Station, Waste Transfer Station, down in my old neck of the woods, Dog Pass, Jersey City, right along the Hackensack River. That's where I was born and raised. That's where life began for me. I got to move my headphones. Let me move my headphones on the other side of this wire before I knock coffee all over the place like I did during the Price Hospital show. Nobody wants a waste transfer station near you. Now, Van Kuren, the first residential units, I think I talked about this last week, is up on James Street, and there's a few homes. It doesn't matter, there's a lot or a few. There's a few homes there on James and Dye. And then you have to cross over to Charlotte Circle to get to Broadway, where you next come in some residential units. There were people that lived in the middle of Charlotte Circle. Good friend of mine, Norman Turcott, lived there as family. I don't know if anybody's still there anymore, possibly. If you were going to put a waste transfer station somewhere in Jersey City, this would be the place. Yeah, there's no there down there. It's really desolated. Either it's desolated property, probably heavily contaminated for the way I am. I think they were on the old Well and Oil site. I had to ride down there and look at it. You got the old PS&G, where all these tanks. You've been, if you were of a certain age here, you remember the big, huge natural gas tank. I'm sure that land kind of contaminated. Everything down there is contaminated. I remember the kid jumping on 55-gallon drums that were oozing things. A lot of old trucking terminals. They did build a few new warehouses down there. I believe they're warehouses. Could be data centers for all I know. Everybody's against data centers. Well, that's the other. We don't want a data center. AI is so prevalent now, and it's just really in its infancy. A knucklehead like me, uses AI. And I find myself using it more and more. It is amazing what you can do with it, where we would take hours developing a graphic. Tell AI, boom, there it is. 60 seconds later, I got a graphic. It used to take me a half a day for our guys to build. I'm not 100. Yeah, I don't like to, ruin my own neck of the city. If it is managed properly, the waste transfer station could be fine. It has to be managed properly. You got one on the other side of Charlotte Circle. You got interstate waste there. They haul garbage in and out of there. They do a good job of it. That's why you don't know it's there. You've been riding by it for years. I think we can manage this. We can manage it properly. As long as we are going to develop garbage, and we do it every day, from food to paper to whatever the hell we're throwing out. As long as someone's composting, you're going to do. You're going to have garbage. And nobody wants it in their backyard, but we're creating the garbage in our front yard, so you got to put it somewhere. So we should be responsible for it, but it has to be managed properly. So I'd really have to know the management people there and see what kind of track record they have. Can they do this effectively? Can you do it without stinking up the place? And even, you got a long distance between James Street and Van Kuren, which is, right along the Hackensack River. That smell could work its way up there. And again, there are people that employed down there. There are trucking companies and various businesses down there. So you got to be respectful of that. If they can manage it, fine. I don't think I have a problem with it, but they got to do a lot of proving to me. There at a meeting last week, we spoke about it here. We encourage you to attend. Looks like, from what I could see of the photos of what I seen in the meeting, it looks like there were 20, 30 people there. Only have people from all parts of the city. Really should have people from that part of the city there. Bill O'Day was there. Raj McCurkey, our state senator. Tom Zupa. Jake Epros was down there. Then other various, Katie Brennan, I believe, was down there. The assemblywoman. Robbie Baller, our assembly person. They're all down there. And, of course, completely trashing the transfer station. You got to kind of look at an open mind because we're creating the trash. I said, there's another place we could put it, is Copper's Cove. Years ago, across the Hackensack River, the county bought the Copper's Cove property, and the idea there was to put an incinerator there. Yeah, we're going to put an incinerator. It might be the future, too, incinerator. Yeah, that may be the way to go instead of dumping it in the landfills and, the way we're handling it now, putting on trains, sending it to Utah or wherever the hell it's going. Copper's Cove, yeah, you could bring that back idea as an incinerator. The incinerators burn a lot cleaner than they do. Nobody realizes the technical advances of whether it's a electric generating station. Oh, they burn the coal and it pollutes everybody. They got some really good buffers on those coal burning generating stations. Natural gas, even cleaner. Nuclear, super clean. Nothing bad about that unless there's a 3 Mile Island deal. But again, technology has moved forward. We embrace technology until we want to use it as an excuse, and then we forget technology is there. It could the transfer station could probably run well. And I think with the right management team, I think it could go well. That's just a matter of do we want to do that. But right off the bat, everybody at the meeting was anti. Try to listen a little bit. Let's see what the background of these people are. Because we're creating garbage. And we don't want it in our backyard. We really shouldn't want to put it in someone else's backyard. Because we all want to become composters. We're going to dig holes in our backyards and bury the garbage. We're going to have these things in some parts of the city. Now, do you want it on Central Avenue or Journal Square? No, of course not. Van Kuren? Probably a good spot. That's probably a good spot. I know somewhere along the line we're going to build a Skyway Park. Again, if you got good management, Skyway Park is on the other side of the shore. By the way, Skyway Park will be right behind Interstate Waste. Interstate Waste does that good of a job that we're not concerned about building a park behind them. And they're dealing with transfer station situation every day. We have to listen. Instead of just throwing this at hand, they did surveys. The Sports and Exposition Authority is involved because it's alongside the Hackensack River, and they did a survey on it. And of course, we're not believing a survey. Who did it? Blah 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 blah. We have to listen a little bit. Again, this is my neighborhood, where I grew up. Home for me. I wouldn't want to put anything there that would damage home for me, even though it was pretty damn damaged when I got there. My generation did a good job cleaning that up. That well and oil, I mentioned well and oil. I remember as a mechanic, the tank broke loose. It was number 6 diesel fuel. It was like the blob coming down in it. Oil all over the place. All cleaned up. I remember when you couldn't even see through the Hackensack River. You go now, you can actually see the Achilles and aquatic life in there and crabs. Well, I was thinking last week, I got to make sure I do these things. I always talk about I want to visit old houses I lived in or apartments. I wanted to visit 71 Murray Street before they knocked it down. Of course, I was too late on that. I wanted to visit my uncle's old restaurant, the Golden Hawk, on 1 and 9 and Broadway. Of course, I was a day late and dollar short on that when they knocked it down. I did manage to go to the old Foxes, that was my family's restaurant bar business. I was the last family member in the building before it knocked it down. But from now on, when I say I want to go somewhere, I've got to go and do that. I'd like to go down to the old neighborhood dog patch, go all the way down to the Hackensack River where we used to sit. We'd go with dates and drink beer and do whatever down there under the bridge along the Hackensack River. See if my initials are still there from the 60s and the 70s. For that matter, I got to go under the Skyway. We did a lot of cleaning up under the Skyway, see if my initials are still there. But getting back to the transfer station, let's hear it out. Unless we all want to stop creating garbage. And that's the case, then we don't have to worry about it. Iran, things are turning up. I want to get some of this important stuff out. Even though the Boulevard Drinks is sensitive, it's not like usually important. It's important if you like those hot dogs. Things are turning ugly in Iran. President Trump says we are going to escort the ships through the Straits of Hormuz. Iran immediately sent some speedboats out there and started trying to attack cargo ships. Took out an engine room of one of the, I think it was South Korea, one of their ships. We sunk 6 of those speedboats with their probably 50 caliber weapons on it. I'm sure we have radar that as soon as a ship, speedboat pulls away from the coast of Iran, it will become like whack-a-mole. We'll spot them immediately. Things will probably get interesting overnight in Iran because they broke the truce. They broke their word. They're trying to stall with all these proposals. I don't think Trump's going to put up with that. We wake up this morning, I'm sure we'll get some interesting news going on. It'll be unfortunate if Iran just doesn't read the tea leaves. Boulevard Drinks, we have to get to it, right? Boulevard Drinks, an institution in Jersey City on Journal Square. Been in that location for a long time, really right next to the Lowe's Theater. I kind of remember it as a kid being in the public service bus terminal. Yes, there was a public service bus terminal at one time where what we call now the Pathside building that the city just sold to the Kushners, that was bus terminal. Public service had buses. Back then, before New Jersey Transit ran everybody had a bus business, everybody had a bus. There were buses all over Journal Square, and that's why Journal Square worked. One of the things that killed Journal Square was building the Path building. There was no longer buses on the square. It became a gerbil existence. That's what Journal Square is going to become. With all these high rises, they're going to be gerbil existence there. When they built the Path station, the buses no longer were on the square. They would pull into the Path. People got off the bus. They got on the Path and went wherever they were going, Hoboken, Newark, New York, wherever they were going. They weren't walking in front of the Griddle or Bettinger's or the Charles shop or anything on the square. They weren't, let me go to that store over there. They never came out of the Path building. There was the decline of Journal Square. And it ain't going to change any because we're building these high rises and it's going to be another gerbil existence there. Because all they talk about when they're marketing these things, you're right next to the Path. The Path is packed now. I mean, the Path is packed before it gets to Journal Square. So anybody think that they're going to live on the square and just get on the Path and I'll go to Hoboken or Newark or New York City, ain't going to happen. There's no, especially if you're going to New York in the morning, forget about it. That Path is packed. And if you know the Journal Square where the tracks start to bend in to go into the tubes, one time it was called the tubes, there wasn't much expansion. But at one time, Boulevard Drinks, as I recall, and I could be a stupid kid, memory of a stupid kid here because he grew up to be a stupid adult, I thought it was over there. I haven't found anybody yet to agree with me. But I asked that old time Jersey City, he'd get back to me, Joe Panafinto. I texted him and said, Joe, do you remember the Boulevard Drinks being in the bus terminal? Yeah, maybe it wouldn't be called the Boulevard Drinks then. So maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. Well, at the end of this month, the Boulevard Drinks is going to close. They have to find a temporary location. Hopefully, the word I use temporary, hopefully they will find space in the new development. There is going to be a new development, of course, with a 50, 60-story building with rental units and condos and 10% affordable housing. It's going to start from 54 Journal Square, the big building right alongside the Lowe's Theater, that share the alley. The two buildings that make the alley on Magnolia. It's actually Magnolia Street, that alley there between the Lowe's and 54 Journal Square, where the Square Pub was, last tenant there. I know the area. It's the Charles Shop when I was a kid. It's going to bend around the square. I think it's going to go over to, let's throw a little more old-time Jersey City in here. I think it's going to go over to where the list was. And I think now that's a Walgreens. There'll be all ground floor retail. It is super high residential tower, which again will be a durable existence. That's what's going to happen. People are going to live in the tower. They're going to come down the tower, get on the path, wait a long time for a spot on the train, and go where they're going. So we will not be stopping. It'll be interesting to see. They're talking about a Whole Foods on Journal Square, a Target opening very soon. See how successful they are without foot traffic. Or you're going to depend on the people that live there. We'll see how this all works. But we need to find another spot for Boulevard Drink. Ideally, now I was texting with Mayor Solomon over the weekend and Ward C Councilman Tom Zuper about the eventuality of Boulevard Drink. As I said, the text, a little late in the game that we're doing this now. They got to be out by the end of May. Possibly Solomon can get an extension on that. You don't want to hold up the development, but he could do that. Ideally, you got some locations I understand what we're looking at. One is, of course, 54 Journal Square, where the closed Square Pub is. That would make an ideal 2-year, whatever it will take, location for the Boulevard Drinks. And then hopefully there's space in the new development. That's something Mayor Solomon has got to concretely guarantee. Right now, the other spot, I think they're talking about the old Journal Square, the Journal building. But the problem with that is you want to have kind of the line of sight for the Boulevard Drinks. You want it to be somewhere in that location. Now, some people were talking about maybe having a construction trailer. They can work out of a construction trailer for a while. Ideally, you want them in a brick and mortar. And ideally, we want to guarantee that there's a space in the new development. Space right out front, ground floor, very close to where they are now, possibly where they are now. Mayor Solomon can get that guaranteed. But I'm sure whatever this development is doing and who's doing it, they're going to want some things from the city. For that matter, even looking for the temporary location, again, I'm looking at 54 Journal Square. I think that's the ideal location. I would have Solomon there talking with the landlord, along with the people from Boulevard Drink. Now, 54 Journal Square, there's some contentious conversations going on between the city, especially when Fulop was the mayor. I would personally like to see 54 Journal Square stay there. The city should have purchased that building. We had a way to do it. We no longer have that way, unless Mayor Solomon reverses his decision on the old Pompidou space. Instead of putting some affordable units in there and a community center and whatever he's talking about there, as I said in other shows, I would rent that space. 100,000 square feet. Can you get $70 a square foot a year? You got a lot of money. You can buy a few things. Ideally, we would have bought 54 Journal Square on the pad side. Pad side has now been sold to the Cushman, so that's off the table. 54 Journal Square is still in play, but we need to generate revenue. And that's a way of generating revenue. And also, you got to build back up the catalog of properties here in Jersey City. Because allegedly, Mayor Fulop sold a lot of properties. But getting back to Boulevard Drinks, Solomon should be sitting there when Victor from Boulevard Drinks is talking to a potential landlord for a 2, maybe 3-year lease. And there's got to be build out too. You got to put grills in there. You got to put a counter in there. But really, if you look at it, probably as far as restaurants, it's not that much of a build out. Hot dogs, grill, counter, some fountains, get some lemon rickeys going in there, lime rickeys. 54 Journal Square is the best bet. So Solomon, Victor, and the Cazals, I think that's a family that owns 54 Journal Square, should sit down there, and Solomon should have a very big hammer with him, like Thor's hammer, and say, we need to work this out before I drop this hammer on you. And there's a lot of things I can drop this hammer doing. I like the Boulevard Drinks. My wife doesn't say the rolls are always cold. I liked it. You know, Bill O'Day, anytime we were up at Journal Square, Bill O'Day make a beeline for the Boulevard Drinks. It is a Journal Square institution. We should have done this long before with a lot of our institutions on Journal Square, and they're all gone now. The Canton is a prime example. That was like the best Chinese. I grew up on that Chinese food. That's gone. It's a gym now. We should have stepped in there and saved some of these places and guaranteed that we'd come back with new development. We didn't do that. Boulevard Drinks is an ideal candidate to save and keep them in business. Yeah, it's same. We lost the Tube Bar. That was, remember the Concourse? And you got to be kind of old to remember the Concourse and Tube Bar. Let's get back to what's going on. We're still waiting for the hammer. Speaking of Solomon's hammer, we're waiting for it to drop on our heads here in Jersey City. We know we're looking at a tax increase. You've seen some heavy tax increases in Hoboken. I think it's 19%. On the good side, we're probably looking at 19% in Jersey City. Bad side, maybe 37%. Depends on what kind of assistance we get from the state. We just had Mayor Solomon in the studio with John Heinous. You know, my studio produces John Heinous' Hudson County View Live, and Solomon was the guest. I wasn't even in my own studio when he was there. I decided to take Kat to a vet, help my aunt get an appointment with an eye specialist. She's 80 some odd years old, and she lost the sight in one eye, and it's threatening. And the doctor she's saying says it's, you know, the good eye is now under threat, and there's so much we can do. One thing I know is doctors, and eye doctors in particular. So I got like an immediate appointment with a real good specialist, and then of course I got stuck in traffic, so I didn't make it. I didn't get there. By the time I got there, John and Solomon were gone. But if you look at that show, it's on our YouTube channel under live events. They talk about possible taxation, the help from the state, and that's good. All I see Mayor Solomon doing, he's got to get the city back on its feet. He's spending money. We're hiring this guy. We're opening this. We're hiring this individual. We're going to start a department of inspectors for go after bad landlords. We're going to have like 25 or 30 inspectors and department heads and that stuff. That'll all cost money. Right now, with what we don't have, we got no money. So somewhere along the line, we're waiting for Solomon to say, what are we looking at? You know, how are you going to cut the budget? How are you going to lessen the tax bite? Because right now, what we're looking at, you got to look at Hoboken as an example. And we're probably in the teens if we get all the help from Trenton. We're at the teens. But then you just got notice that the Jersey City Board of Ed is going to raise the taxes. And the county has a very tough budget coming up. So you're probably looking at taxes there. So we'll get into that later on in the show. I'd really like to see Mayor Solomon show me at least what are you doing when you get the money from Trenton. We getting the whole 250? I mean, 150 million? That's a lot of money to ask for. I don't know if we get the whole buck and a half. It would be nice. And then Solomon's only got to deal with 100 million. Well, it might even be less, because I thought he had, say, 50 million in the benefits, health benefits. He told me it was 30 million, and he was right. I don't know where I got the 50 million from. So I may be looking to cover 70 or 80 million. Every million comes in handy, and he's got to generate some revenue. Ideally, you generate some revenue. Ideally, you come up with, I hate to see a flat tax across the city. I'd like to see more of like user fees. If you use something in Jersey City, pay for it. I'm big on the driveway permits. If you got a driveway, just pay a fee every year. I'd go I pay about $2,400 a year to park in Jersey City. I would be very happy to pay $600 for a driveway. I said it before. If that fuel tank, if we take that oil tank out of the house, when we take that tank out, the driveway's popping up. I would have no problem paying $600 a year. I'm entitled. I can have a driveway, even though here would be illegal. If I knock my house down and build a new one, then I can have a driveway. I got tiny cars. We got 3 tiny cars in my family. 2 Chevy Avos and the Kia Sportage. They all fit really nice in front of the house. They won't be hanging out on the sidewalk. I would have no problem saying $600 a month. I got the driveway. I got that space in front of the driveway, the street. I'm not sure a driveway entitles me to a guaranteed street spot. And what we're doing a lot in Jersey City now is we're allowing you to park in your driveway and across your driveway. So it's really a bargain. So if you do $600 a year for every driveway, I think on my block alone, just my block, it would create, I think it was $7,400 a year, $7,600, something like that. There's a lot of blocks in Jersey City. That would be very, I don't want to see somebody who doesn't have a car or a driveway get hit with a tax increase. I'd rather see a user fee. I'm using a driveway. I got that spot in front of my driveway reserved for me. When I come home, I get to pull in my driveway. There's no car there. I can pay for that. I don't want to see the taxes go up where the lady across the street who doesn't have a car, there's no driveway, and she's going to pay. I'd rather see a user fee. But Solomon's got to generate some revenue. He's got to cut some expenses and open a bet. Here we are in May. We're coming in. Solomon's been here at 100 some odd days. I'd really like to see what rabbits he's pulling out of his hat to save us from shock. 'Cause I don't use the word affordable in Jersey City. But nothing's affordable at all. Even though I used the word affordable before with affordable units at the Pompidou spot. All right, I'm going to break for commercial. You're listening to the City Show here on GGR. I'll be right back. Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra Space Storage has space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some Extra Space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra Space Storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest Extra Space Storage location, extraspace.com.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra Space Storage has space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some Extra Space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra Space Storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest Extra Space Storage location, extraspace.com. Hi, I'm Pat O'Melia with the Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. You may have heard me talk about teaching high school juniors and seniors studio and radio production. The hope is when these kids graduate and wish to continue their education, they may receive college scholarships. Or, if not, they will have the experience from our program to get employment at the major motion movie studios here in New Jersey and New York. I started the GoFundMe, where you can make a donation completely tax deductible to help these kids and the studio program. Please go to GoFundMe and type in Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network. I thank you now for your generosity. Toms River Armory, 602 Clifton Avenue, right at the intersection of Clifton Avenue and Route 37 at Toms River. Your local source for all your firearm, ammo needs, and accessories. Plus, gunsmithing, repair, and cleaning on site. And coming soon, firearm training and classes. Toms River Armory, 732-569-3730. On the net at tomsriverarmory.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Toms River Armory, 602 Clifton Avenue at the intersection of Route 37 and Clifton Avenue in Toms River. Visit on the net at tomsriverarmory.com.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
All right, we're back. Pat O'Melia here, City Show, GGR. We are live. I'm going to talk about the debate. You know, getting the summer, it's going to be 81 degrees tomorrow. I'm helping my kid get the house ready for Airbnb rentals in Seaside Heights. So I'm setting up with appointments for an electrician. I'm going to change the smoke detectors. They're all like 10 years old up here, and that's the life expectancy. And new light fixtures in the bathroom. You know, the kids bought that place. 2016 really started setting things up in 2017. So the guy that we use down here, Don Blackwell, really nice guy, had brain cancer. He worked through it and unfortunately passed away. I was looking for him to do the electrical work. So the township here gave me a name of one of their electricians. And the guy's name is Rick. I won't say his last name. And it turns out I had two of the same name Rick people in there. So I called the first Rick guy up, and there's one of the kids that worked with me 12 years ago in the studio when we were in Jersey City. Now we brought him in there, and the kid worked for me. I guess a couple of years, everybody should do 2 or 3 years with me, and then you got to go. Get out of the nest. Go out and make your way in the media world. And it was good talking to him. Yeah, so many kids that come by, I kind of forgot him. But then you got Mary popped in, a bushy head kid, nice guy. Doing well in the field, gainfully employed from that little studio on Central Avenue when we started out. I'd bring these kids in, interns, and then they would stay after that. And I'd give them like $10 an hour. And I'd probably like 2 or 3 kids for like $10 an hour, and they'd all work there. And you could bring them along slowly then, because there wasn't a lot of money now that the minimum wages. You can't bring kids around slowly. But not only you got to pay this person the minimum wage, you got to move the other people up to keep them away from minimum wage. I remember I was looking for one experienced guy. I wound up hiring like three non-experienced kids. One kid had a Lego video he was showing me. He did stop motion. But Rick was one of those young guys that came in, and he did his 2 or 3 years, learned video switching and the lighting and the camera. What he was talking about today was really appreciative of working in the studio and getting a chance to learn. He went on. He left us. Verizon was taking a lot of my people. We have Hudson Media Group has a very good reputation with training people. When you do everything in our place, video switching, framing of camera work, which drives me nuts with some of these kids. You get the framing of camera work. The first thing you got to do is get the picture to look right. It's got to be framed properly. The shot, editing, the video switching, green screen work, set design, set development, graphics. We do it all. Voiceovers, we do it all in there. And I like the kids that it's kind of like having a rookie quarterback on a bench. He learns from the other guys. And little by little, he's picking that up, and then he gets himself involved, starts running on a scout team, and eventually he's in the studio, he's adjusting lights and making decisions. I believe in throwing people in the deep end of the pool. And it may not be how other teachers teach, but it works for us. And our kids, of all those guys, I think only one person, maybe 2, aren't gainfully employed in the field who have been through my place. And that's like 30, 40 people have come through the place. Last year with the high school kids, we had like 5 full scholarships. So we do pretty good. Debate. We have a bigger debate coming up. On the 6th of May, this Wednesday at 6 p.m. It'll be on our YouTube channel and Hudson County Views YouTube channel. You'll have Congressman Robert Menendez Jr., facing off against Masab Ali. Not that Ali, not Muhammad Ali, Masab Ali. And those two guys will be going face to face. I guarantee you this will be a barn burner. It is going to be hot. John Highness is moderating it, producing it. They would direct some of my high school kids in there to work this. But I got my crew there. I'll be there. And we got 2 or 3 of my guys are going to be there. It's 1 hour, 6 o'clock. I don't have a problem even going a little longer. I'm going to tell John, if it's hot and it's fiery and it's entertaining and informative, they can go an hour 15 is fine with me. But save the date, save the time. Hudson Media Group YouTube, Hudson County View Live YouTube. We're going to simulcast it. We're going to simulcast it on GGR. So if you're not by a TV, you can download the app anyway. You can listen to it there. I guarantee you it will be very entertaining. So again, the 6th, May the 6th, 6 p.m., live from the North Bergen studios here at Hudson Media Group. On the YouTube channels for both the Hudson Media Group and John Highness's Hudson County View. It will be an entertaining debate. Masab Ali is going to make it entertaining. He's going to throw everything he has at Menendez. Menendez will be back on his feet. He'll be counter jabbing. He'll be trying to hang in there. But Bob is an accomplished debater. So I don't know how much Masab can rattle him or rattle him at all. That's to be seen. And that's the beauty about live debate. That's why it's a shame when you don't have people debate. When people just nix it, I don't want to debate on the incumbent. Now, again, credit to Rob Menendez. A lot of these incumbents don't want to debate. Fortunately, I miss a debate. I probably produced, by now, probably 80, maybe 100 debates. A lot of debates over since from the radio days in the late 90s to Wednesday. Debates everywhere. Would have liked to have done Bayonne. They don't want to leave Bayonne. There are other debates. There'll be many other debates to come. But again, May the 6th, 6 p.m. on my YouTube channel, Hudson Media Group, and on John Highness's YouTube channel, Hudson County View Live. Do not miss it. And like I said, if I can let it go, there's 15 minutes. If it's rolling hot, I'm going to tell John, just keep going with it, baby. We're not on cable on this, so we don't have to worry about time restraints. Goes an hour 15, goes an hour 15. As long as it's entertaining and hot, I'm cool with it. May Day protests in Jersey City. Was at the steps of Jersey City City Hall. And I was turning this sound like a New York. Tax the rich. What are we in Minnesota? Tax the rich. New York City, so tax the rich. Now, I am not a rich man. I should be dancing up on the roof there. I'm not a rich man. I'm 100 there, if that. Why is it we keep going after people who are successful? You strive to have your children be successful. They went to college. They got degrees. I got what is a PhD. You see people's kids next door to me, Harry's daughters, doctors. They strive. They work their asses off. The parents work their ass off. It's still that in their children. Get an education, get a skill, get a craft, make investments. My daughters have gotten into real estate. One of the smartest things Dad has ever done. Get some real estate. Boy, the real estate market has exploded after I got the kids in it. Very good. We just had dinner last week. I was telling the kids, probably another piece of property, even though it seems high. It's probably low right now. We might be looking at this in 2-3 years saying, good thing we bought this property. I said, while you guys are young and you can afford it, go get another piece of property. Do that. But it's always tax the rich. Get there. Again, the rich don't need me to defend them. But I have a real problem when you have a group of people, and it's funny, some of these people in the picture there, I know a lot of these people, you didn't see them yelling tax the rich because they're the rich. There were some people sitting there, $1 million or so. And Katie Brennan, our new assemblywoman, she's talking about trying to pass bills in Trenton will have tiers of tax the rich. You'll get taxed, you got like $1 million, $1.5 million a year. One tax, if you make like $5 million, yeah, we're going to tax you more. We want to take everything you did because you went out and got a craft. You went out and got a skill. You went out and got an education. You went out and made something of yourself. We want to take that. Because see these people over here? They didn't make something of themselves. And I'm one of those people over there. I don't have that education. This is my skill. I was a mechanic at one time. I was a tractor trailer driver. I was a mechanic. And I kept getting promoted to foreman, to supervisor, to manager because I was conscientious. I knew right from wrong. I knew how to organize people. And then eventually I got my own shops. And I had my shops fail. Then I got up again and went back and did it. It was stupid. I went back again. And twice I was on my butt. But each time I would dust myself off. And just by chance, I used to do a wrestling radio show. We did that for a lot of years. I didn't make any money with it, but it was good for the kids. I interviewed Hulk Hogan and Ted DiBiase and Diamond Dallas Page, those kind of people. And I came up with the idea of going back to radio and with the Jersey City Talking Show. And I couldn't get anywhere. Nobody would literally slam doors in my face. So I had to go buy my time. And I did. I was delivering trailers at 2 o'clock in the morning for Bed Bath & Beyond to pay for my show. But little did I realize this would become my career, from radio to television. And here we are 30 years later because of I wanted to go back to radio and do something more effective than the Wrestling Tonight Show, which I enjoyed doing, but you weren't going to make any money doing that. We did Jersey City Show and Hudson County Show. And I tell you what, I would never left radio. Wasn't for the Yankees taking my time slot. They needed a Spanish language outlet. They went to NJR and said, we'll give you the Yankees. 162 games in playoffs and World Series, maybe? Or playoffs, at least. But we need weeknights, and we need the radio at nights. And you got that guy over there, Jersey City Show on Mondays and Wednesdays. Well, Jersey City Show and Hudson County Show was gone. And I even agreed with the networks. I don't blame you. You get the Yankees instead of me. Goodbye, Pat. And we had started the television with Glenn Cunningham. And we were working on that, and then unfortunately Glenn passed away. And I say with the video, and here we are. But, I appreciate these people. Like I said, as a mechanic, I shouldn't say I didn't have a skill as a mechanic. I could weld, I could burn, I could sheet write, do sheet metal work. That's when I had knees. Now I have struggled to put a license plate on because of my knees. Even though I had one rebuilt, then I damaged it falling downstairs. I got to get the right one done. I got some problem with my hip. Well, there's people saying this sciatica. It's struggling to put a license plate on it. It's awful. But I constantly, by choice or by other people recognizing something, I kept moving up the ladder. You got people who haven't moved up the ladder or whatever field they're in. They're worried about minimum wage. The only time I made minimum wage when I worked at ShopRite and when I first started with Fred Rich Truck and Trailer as a mechanic. And I'll tell you something. When I was making like $3 an hour, it was the most money I ever had in my life. I had no expenses outside of gasoline in my car, and I was paying like $50 for a car. Go out with a girl, you could go out on a date back then for like $15 for the night. A beer was like 50 cents. I never had that at 20. I was making minimum wage. But they constantly keep crying, tax the rich, go after the rich. The rich are bad. No, they're not. They're the ones building everything. They're talking about, they're building this high rise over here. The rich are just getting richer. Well, they're investing in property. Now, it looks like every property is a home run. It's not the case. People go bankrupt. Look at the American Mall out there. I don't know when the other shoe is going to drop. Actually, that's like a dog out there. It's got 4 feet. It's already taken 2 developers broke. Probably going to take a third one because they got all sorts of problems out there. Not all these real estate things work out. You have some very successful people in Jersey City who learned the ropes and have done a great job. The LaFrac family, Panapintos, to name a few. Joe Panapinto's been in Jersey City for the last 50 years building. I always have a problem when we're trying to dig into other people's pockets. Tax the rich, tax the rich. But like I said, in that chance, there were some of those rich people on the steps looking up at the sky like, oh, yeah, tax the rich, yeah. They're the rich. They were there. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with these kids. The Mandani guy. The explosion that's going to occur in Mandani's political scheme over there is going to be something to watch. But eventually, New York will catch up to him. I think a lot of what's happening is people forgot how this country, we're the greatest country in the world, and it's a capitalistic country. That's how we've made it. Yeah, we're socialism. That's not going to work. It hasn't worked anywhere, from what I understand. So I just don't see how that's really an option for us here in the United States. But the socialism only works until you run out of other people's money. That's what I've always been told. What else do we want to talk about? We got a big race coming up. Well, let's finish the taxes here, by the way. Let me finish the tax. Board of Education in Jersey City. You're probably looking at anywhere between 10 to 17% school tax increase. There's a case where Solomon, who broke his toe, he should have been broke his toe kicking in the door of the Board of Education. If you look at him on the interview with John Heinous, you'll see Solomon's wearing two different shoes. He's got a broken toe on one of those feet. Somebody's got to sit down with the Board of Ed and say, listen, this has to stop. In the last 4 or 5 years, we talk about tax increases and throwing rocks at Steve Fuller, the former mayor. The tax increases that went up in Jersey City weren't from the municipal end, from the school board. You know, the Fuller might be guilty of juggling and keeping, all the dishes spinning on sticks and bowls in the air, that sort of thing. As I said before Solomon won the election, he had to open that desk drawer in City Hall. Them demons are going to jump out, and they did. Taxes here, if it goes 17%, your municipal tax is going up somewhere. Probably, maybe 17 at 22. It could be really bad in the 30s, but probably somewhere in the teens. And then you got the county has a really rough budget this year with the health benefits. That's why I was saying that last week or the week before. Got to be somehow we can address health benefits here in Jersey City, in Hudson County. I don't know if we go self-insured between the county and Jersey City. There's got to be another answer to this. You could probably talk to Hoboken jumping in because it has gone out of hand. The county is going to have a very big problem. So you're probably looking at in Jersey City with all the boom going on in Jersey City and all the big towers, you're probably looking at about 6% probably. So you got 17, say another 17 for Jersey City. That's 34%. And 6, so you got somewhere, depending on the percentage, a 40% increase. There's that magic word again, affordability. You're going to be, you keep doing it. Somewhere around, we've got to figure, how do we, big expenses to health benefits? Let's address this. How do we handle that? How do we find another way of doing things? Stop trying to shortcut it. How do we find another way? Solomon's a pretty smart guy. He understands money well, so he's probably the guy. But that's what we're looking at. You're looking at Jersey City Board of Ed, somewhere in the teens, probably the mid to high teens. The city spin, spin that wheel there, Jersey City. It's coming. There's a high coming. I don't know what it is, but it's coming. And like I said, the county, you're probably looking at 6, maybe 8%. So, affordability, it's a tough one here. In Bayonne, you got some mayor's races there. Wait, I want to break for commercial. Want to break for commercial? You'll listen to the City Show here on GGR. I'll be right back. No longer have a garage? Extra space storage, half space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some extra space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra space storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest extra space storage location. Extraspace.com.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra space storage, half space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some extra space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra space storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest extra space storage location. Extraspace.com. Hi, I'm Pat O'Melia with the Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. You may have heard me talk about teaching high school juniors and seniors studio and radio production. The hope is when these kids graduate and wish to continue their education, they may receive college scholarships, or if not, they will have the experience from our program to get employment at the major motion movie studios here in New Jersey and New York. I started a GoFundMe where you can make a donation completely tax deductible to help these kids and the studio program. Please go to GoFundMe and type in Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network. I thank you now for your generosity. Tom's River Armory, 602 Clifton Avenue, right at the intersection of Clifton Avenue and Route 37 at Tom's River. Your local source for all your firearm, ammo needs, and accessories. Plus, gunsmithing, repair, and cleaning on site. And coming soon, firearm training and classes. Tom's River Armory, 732-569-3730. On the net at tomsriverarmory.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tom's River Armory, 602 Clifton Avenue at the intersection of Route 37 and Clifton Avenue in Tom's River. Visit on the net at tomsriverarmory.com. All right, we're back. Listen to the City Show here on GGR. We got about 4 minutes left. GameStop is going to buy eBay. At least they're trying. I don't think anybody can buy eBay, even Bezos. But I use eBay a lot. You know, I just purchased a bumper from eBay, brand new bumper for the high school band. This one is something happened. It was a little rusted up too, but something happened. Nobody ever tells me what happens with these things. So I got a new bumper. So I can't do it myself anymore because of the leg. So I sent it out. I got it replaced. And the guy tells me the holes in the bumper for the sensor is bigger than the holes on the old one. So he says you have to get a new cone and a new ring for the bumper. And I'm thinking, seems like a lot of work. Where am I going to find this stuff? And again, as I said before, I used to be a mechanic. So why can't I just take a hole saw and drill a new friggin' hole in the new bumper and then put the sensor back in the right size hole we got to put in there? But then again, I used to be a mechanic. There aren't those mechanics like me anymore. They're replacers. When I was doing things, I fixed. If it's broken, we fix it. We didn't use to replace it. We fixed those things. So as usual, the high school van bites me on the ass. But it's a good truck. I like to keep it as nice as possible. So when we're doing jobs on it with the kids, you show up. But I got to get the signage. I got to prove. I just approved the decals on it. It'll be sound. It'll start. It'll stop. Go where it has to go. I'll drive it, or a Hudson Media Group person will drive it. And we only got one seat, so we only take one kid with us. And the bus or whatever is going to have to follow us. But I'm probably having a Zoom meeting with a college again this week. I had a meeting during the week with a college. We might be making an announcement there. Doomsday Avenger. If you're not a superhero comic book person, you probably don't care. Avengers Doomsday is coming. I've never seen such hype for this. If you're on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, I keep screwing around with the comic book hero guys, the DC Marvel people. I'm going to tell you, this may be the first $3 billion movie when it comes out in December. I mean, there is such hype for this. And, there's so many of the Marvel characters are going to be in. I just tweeted recently, this is going to be like a night of 100 stars. There are so many of the Marvel characters. We're bringing back the died. That doesn't matter if they're dead. Bring the Black Widow back. He'll be back here. Iron Man. Not only we're bringing Iron Man, we'll make him be Doom also. He's Dr. Doom, Iron Man. All these guys are coming back. I've never seen a movie that is so hyped. Now, next week, I plan on going to see the Sheep movie with Hugh Jackman. Wolverine with sheep. Yeah, the Sheep Detective, it is called. I've seen it come in attractions when we went to see Super Mario Brothers. It looked good, so it looked like my kind of movie. So we're going to be seeing that. I like going to the theater. I like a 50-foot screen. I'll definitely be there for Doomsday. But I've never seen a movie with that much hype. More hype than a Spider-Man movie that's coming out. And Spidey usually gets a lot of hype. Make sure I got all my notes in here. We did that. Oh, the Bayonne race. It's May the 12th. You got Lloyd Booker, Sharon Nardrowski, and an old friend of mine, Mary Jane Desmond. They'll be looking to become the next mayor on May the 12th. Bayonne, by the way, just hit with a 2.2% tax hike, which don't sound too bad, right? 2.2 when you look at what we're looking at here, not too bad. But to balance that out, the Bayonne Board of Education are going to hike the taxes 12%. So again, that bookable word, affordability, there is no affordability. All right, I am at a show. Remember, Wednesday, 6 o'clock, YouTube channel on Hudson Media Group and John Highness's Hudson County View Live, Menendez versus Ali. I'll see you there. You be good, you be safe. Talk to you during the week. Good night.